Hello again. Many years ago, more just as a joke more than anything else, I tried the opening that will appear in this game in a correspondence game, and it worked out very well for me, and I won in pretty impressive style, and for some unknown reason I've never played it again. So what I propose to do is to show you a game that I played recently where I did try it again, and let's see what happened. I don't know how many of you out there have ever heard of the spike opening. Well, the game begins with 1 G4, and already we're in the field of irregular openings. There's no doubt about that. Even in 2024, it's a bit outlandish, I think. Anyone would agree. Now, I'd prepared in case black decided to play D5, hitting the pawn there. I'd let him take it, and I'd play here. And so he would take it. I mean, there's no reason not to, because this diagonal is blocked, no problem. And then I intended to do this, C4. So if he takes, you take on B7. So he played here. This is all conjecture, of course. This did not happen in the game. And I would have played here. And that's as far as I went. And I was pretty satisfied that that's a fairly good position for white. If you have any thoughts on that, let me know. I think it's well worth it for the pawn. And he didn't play that, but that is what I intended to play if black had replied with D5. So we'll put all of this back, and we'll have a look at what, in fact, my opponent on the day did play. So we're at G4. My opponent played E5. Is there anything wrong with this? I don't think so. It's fair enough, isn't it? You know, you can look at it and think, well, that's good. Well, what is interesting here is I'd already had a look at this beforehand, and I decided I'd push my pawn on. Incomprehensible, isn't it? Let's take a look at that. Now, in the line where black replies D5, we're letting him take the pawn on G4. Here I'm actually offering it to him on G5. So did he take it? Well, I think that this is better, to be perfectly honest, and take the center. And what I intended to play in that position would have been H4. And we're doing lots of things on the king side. There's no safety at all for the king, but that's besides the point. In this opening, you're not looking at king safety, you're looking at catching the opponent by surprise. Well, he did take the pawn. So what did I do then? Well, amazingly, I played here, hitting the queen. So what he has to do there, of course, is to move his queen for a second time. Where does he put it? Well, he put it here. And of course, what he's thinking is, we'll take the queen here and hit the rook. Did he manage to? He did. I took the pawn. D takes E5, opening the queen line. And so he went here. So what did I play? Well, he's hitting the rook, so knight F3. Now, although I'm weak on the king side, I don't think so, because the G line is operational. He's moved his queen 3 times. He has no development. I'm even in material. So he carried on knight C6. He's hitting that E pawn, trying to win it. It is a double pawn, sure, but we have the open D line and the open G line. So I think that's adequate compensation. So I played here to drive his queen away yet again. So what did he do there? Did he move his queen again? Well, no, he didn't on this occasion. Instead, what he chose to do was to play here and pin my knight. Bishop B4. So I played here. Now clearly in this position, white is threatening this and forking king and rook. So how did he respond to bishop d2? Well, he took the knight, and of course I took back. And now we have this bishop on this nice diagonal here, which is where you really want it. So what did he do in this position? Let us not forget we're threatening moves such as this. We are also at some point possibly threatening this. We could let the rook go and fork king and rook on the king side. So there are possibilities here. There's also possibilities of bishop g2, bishop h3. We're not devoid of possibilities in this position, as I think any chess player would agree. And this is what we want. He played d5 to open in the center, and of course to open this line. So how did I approach that? I did think of e6, but I took en passant. I'm not sure if that is absolutely correct or not. This was a 30-minute game again, so you don't have a lot of time in these games. You have less time, of course, in a 5-minute game. I've never played a 5-minute game, and I don't know that I could. I'm handling the clock a lot better than I used to, but I don't think I could handle it that well. So I'm sticking to the 30-minute games, and I seem to be doing all right with them. So that's after en passant. So how does black deal with this? What does he do? Well, he plays here. He's played bishop b4, now he plays bishop g4. And what he's noting, of course, is he's threatening to take here because this pawn is pinned. Well, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. No problem. So what did I do? Did I defend against it? Did I play bishop g2? No, I took here. And what we're doing here is we're stopping him castling long. We're not quite threatening mate down here, but it's still looking a bit precarious. And don't forget bishop g7. So what did he do here? Well, if he'd played this, I had in mind to play here, queen d6, with the idea of possibly castling long and stopping him from castling kingside. He didn't play that. What he did is he took the knight off. Like I say, the king pawn is pinned, so we can't do anything, we can't take that, and he's attacking the rook. Is this sound? I'm not entirely sure. You be the judge of it. I think there's open play here. I took here. He's attacking my rook, I'm attacking his. He is a piece up at the moment, there's no question about that. That's fair comment. I mean, of course, if he were to take here, I'd take back with the queen, pinning his queen, and then he couldn't take my rook, but I'd take his. So I would end up being up in material, there's no doubt about that. He's a piece up at the moment, but he's 3 pawns down, don't forget. So he's not really up anything, if you want to get technical on it. So what happens? What did he do? Now, if he tried checking me here, playing for time, I can always bring this bishop back. And this is very similar to a Danish gambit line where you take advantage of the fact that you're still maintaining the control over his rook on h8. He didn't play that. He took the rook. So at the moment, white is the equivalent of a rook down. Wow. So what do I do here? Well, I played here. And what is white threatening? Well, the threat quite simply is queen d7 checkmate. What does he do against that? If he'd played here, this time I would have played here. And he's in all sorts of problems. He'd have to end up going to where he went anyway. So what he did is he played down here to stop queen d7. I think that is the preferred move in that position. So just take a look at that for a moment. So what did I do? Well, I queened the pawn, check, he took it back, and I took his rook. So I'm getting a rook one way or another. So that's after bishop takes c8. I'm still down in material. Mind you, I'm not really. I'm about a pawn down. Yeah, okay. But this is still going to go if I want to take it. So what does he do in that position? That's after 14 bishop c8. Well, what he does is he plays here, bishop to e4. He's wanting to make sure that it's not locked in. Bishop to e4. Yeah, okay. So what did I do in this position? Just take a look at that for a moment. Is he threatening anything there? Well, he is. He's threatening this. So we don't really want that. So how do we deal with it? Do we play a3 or do we play something else? Well, unbelievably, I played f3, the very move that you wouldn't... I thought he might have played bishop f3 at once, but he didn't. Which he could do because it's still pinned. But he must not lose sight of this down here. So what did he do in that position? Well, he took the pawn off. I think this is an extremely interesting game. So what did I play here? Well, I'm not expecting to be able to checkmate him in that position. But what I am expecting to do is to come out with a series of exchanges and be up in material. So what I did is I played here, queen d7 check. Now he's forced to take that queen. He can do nothing other than take that queen off. So he takes the queen. And of course, I take the queen back with check. So really he's left with no option but to take the bishop. And so what did I do then? Can you see it? That's right, I take the bishop because his rook is going to go and there's nothing that he can do about it. He takes f3. So what he does is he's anticipating trying to trap my bishop in the corner, f6. So I take the rook off. Now let's just pause for a moment and have a look at the state of play with regard to material in that position. White has a rook and a bishop against 2 knights, and he has 5 pawns against 4. So he's theoretically in a 1 position. I don't think there's any doubt about that. He has a pawn majority on the queen side. So what does black do here? Well, he plays here. He's, of course, renewing this, so white simply comes here to snuff it out. Don't castle long here because you take the a-pawn and win a pawn, so just play king d2. So what does he do in response to this? Well, he's going this way, king e7. He's wanting to win that bishop if he can manage it. So you kick the knight away. Now you play a3, yes. He plays to d5. And now, of course, like I was saying earlier, we have the open duel line. His knight's under attack, so what does he do? Does he move it or does he cover it? Well, of course, if he moved it to here, you know, you've checked down here, you could play bishop g7 attacking it, so he comes here, but it's absolutely useless, as can be seen. He is, in fact, in a very bad position. Now we play here, and what does he do against that? He goes here, and then we take there, rook h7. And at this point, my opponent lost on time. He was struggling. Once he realised that I'd catch him up in material and overtake him, he just didn't manage to find any solution to it. There isn't any, as a matter of fact. That is a 1 game probably all the way through it, which is quite amazing. And he did admit that he was beaten. There's no way around it. I mean, the bishop cannot now be trapped. It's as simple as that. There's no way that black can put up further resistance, and this pawn is going to go, and it's all over. I do hope you enjoyed that game and managed to get something out of it. It's a very interesting, irregular opening. I'd still call it, even in the mid-2020s, irregular. You won't often see that. And it's well worth playing around with, again, especially in speed chess. So give it a whirl and see what happens. And goodbye to you.